Morning, it's Connie's review today at her college placement. She's been there now for 2 and a bit years, so we're now well into our last year, and obviously it's going to go really quick. It's her review day, so I'm invited and Paul, but he can't go today, and any professionals that are involved with Connie are invited to go to the college, and we watch some films and video clips of the things that Connie achieves, the things that she does while she's out in the community or she's on the placement. Talk about whether she's meeting her targets, how she's doing generally, and things that are happening, and maybe things that can be changed. This is quite an important review meeting today because, of course, we're talking about Connie's future. She's 21, she's only got till next July, and she will leave Beaumont and she will be out on her own, basically, out in the big wide world, with us deciding and fighting for what we can get. That will be a challenge, but one we usually rise to. We usually enjoy a challenge. I would much prefer not to have them, but what can you do? We shall go and see what they've all got to say, and I will come back and tell you how it's all gone. Well, that was an experience. Do excuse the ironing board in the background. It seems to be its permanent position. Got to college and was greeted by Connie's support worker and I think a lady who is head of the year or something, and taken into a room, and there were 12 other professionals in it. I can honestly say there has never been that many professionals turn up at any one of Connie's meetings, although I have thought about it, and the last time that happened, when a lot of people turned up, was when Connie was about 4 and we were in mainstream school and the meeting had been called, another of these review meetings, and every single professional turned up. I walked through the door and I thought, hey up, what's going on here? That'll be another story I'll tell you. Today's one was a little bit like that because I thought, it's nice of them all to come, but where have they all been for the past? Where have they all been? Why have none of them turned up like this before to help support Connie in her journey throughout education? It's made quite clear that Connie won't be able to stay in education for another year, although I've asked. Basically, I think because she's met her targets. Really should have been better off not meeting her targets. I've watched some lovely videos of Connie celebrating the work that she's done, and yes, they are there to be celebrated, but I am obviously telling you they are extremely basic. It's made and portrayed as if it's somebody who can go out and access the world all on her own, pay at the bus stop, put a card on the machine, pay for her swimming, but it doesn't happen like that. Connie doesn't go out without one-to-one support, and all the things that go on in the background, are they still going to be there? I've no idea. Anyway, I did make my points quite clear at the end of the meeting. Some of the professionals, they had other meetings to go to, so one left at 11:15, one left at 11:30, and in all honesty, I don't even know whether they made any contribution to the meeting at all. I did try to make some notes of my own. We're talking about going down a continuous health plan route. I'm going to get some information dropped off about that. The Court of Protection was mentioned, power of attorney was mentioned, Connie moving on into supported living was mentioned. I've told them all these things are not going to happen until there's a lot of transition work going on, because she's not going to just move on from this house, and it's not going to happen in one night, because basically she's got to get used to it, and so have we. And also I was quite emotional in there because I did talk about Connie and the way that she doesn't seem to be coping with my mum's death, which was in April. She seems to think she's gone somewhere else, but obviously she has, but Connie doesn't know where that is. She mentions about heaven, but where is heaven? What does heaven mean? She thinks she's there with her other granddad and all the dogs that have died along the way, that they're all up there together, which is lovely. That's a lovely thought, but obviously it's not helping Connie. When my father was ill last week, the first thing Connie shouted was, "I'm going to die, I'm going to die." She was like beside herself. She thinks everybody's going to die. So I've asked if maybe we could have some input from somebody. Now, who that's going to be, I shall wait and watch this space. Because, you know, everybody's there to support the whole family. And I'm waiting for that to start. It's been... better not hold my breath because it might just be quite a long time. But anyway, we'll wait and see what happens. I'll wait and see what information comes through the door. And I'll wait and see who gets in touch. I have just met my new social worker yesterday for transition. She seems quite up to speed with everything. But they all seem like that at the beginning. And I'll wait till she makes contact with me to do another full assessment for Connie because of the way that all her needs have changed. Obviously I'm off down to Rett soon in Manchester at St Mary's to talk to them about Connie's lack of muscle tone and control over her body because there's something else going on. So that'll be another one of those meetings. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed what I've got to say today, and I'll see you next time.